The Lexus NX is so popular globally that Lexus can't produce enough to supply the demand. If you're on the list for an NX450h Plus, you could have wait times from 2 to 3 years in some markets, and the only market I've heard about shorter wait times is really the United States. So just looking at 100 miles away from San Francisco, there's 98 matches of the 450h Plus on lots or in transit to the dealership. I asked about the Copper Crest NX450h Plus here in Canada, and I was told the wait times are going to be about 3 years. So definitely Lexus can't make enough of these. I think that we just need to wait for another year or two before the battery plant opens in the United States, and then the NX and RX plug-in hybrid will be built in Canada for the North American market. And at that time, the wait times could be shortened a bit, especially in North America. Anyways, let's go back to Australia, and why is that I talked about the supply and demand for the NX? Let's have a look. So we're referencing a few articles here from car experts in this video. And in this video, we are really talking about mostly Australia. So here you see the articles asking about when is the NX plug-in hybrid orders going to reopen in Australia. So they're saying that Lexus is currently aiming to reopen local orders after they actually went and did a stop order for the SUV, and it's actually been quite some time. So the company announced in March 2023 that they're stopping orders and only taking expression of interest, and that really pisses some people off. But now Lexus Australia claimed that at this time, the orders for the NX450h Plus has stretched all the way to 2025 as a result of tight supply. So right now we're in 2024 and we're still a year away from that. So the Lexus Australia CEO has actually talked to car experts this week and trying to confirm how many NX450h Plus examples are secured for Australia. So looking at what they said here is, we're trying to increase the production for all the customers and deliver their vehicles. So then we can take the order pause off and then can take new orders. Okay, so that's what they're saying. And again, the plug-in hybrid in Australia is much more expensive than what we have in Canada. This is $95,248 in Australian dollars, and in Canada it's about 70-ish Canadian dollars. So what they're looking at right now is they're saying that they're looking at ending the suspension of orders and restart taking orders again by the end of 2024, as they're trying to negotiate with Lexus Japan to boost the supply. And I think that needs to happen across the board. So if Australia is asking for it, but then Canada is complaining that they're not getting their cars for 3 years, so I think everybody is looking for that. And I think what they're trying to look at is, keep in mind the battery plant is opening in 2025. So maybe what's going to happen is the orders that were directed to Canada are diverted to Australia and other markets. And then what they can do is now supply the Canadian market and the US market in Canada. But again, we have to wait for that to actually happen, make them have that announcement that this is going to happen. And if that is going to happen, that will definitely help. Or even if they just go and do the US market, if they build the NX plug-in hybrid and have the batteries sourced from the US, then that big market now can supply other markets. So Japan doesn't need to deliver cars to US, they can just deliver it to Canada, to Australia and other markets, and that will boost the supply a lot more and a lot faster. Keep in mind, the TX550h Plus is using the exact same power plant. So if they can produce it, it's not that much harder for them to produce that in North America as well, and just ship those batteries to Canada for the NX and the RX. Follow me on Instagram at LSFT Videos. You can see updates on my experience with the NX450h Plus, which may not be shown on any future videos. You can reach out to me via direct messaging, if you have any questions on your Lexus. If you like this video, you can provide me feedback in the comments below, like this video, share it with your friends. This definitely will help with the YouTube algorithms. Press the subscribe button and bell icon and get notified when new videos show up. And lastly, if you want to support me further, you can provide me a super thanks, or visit my Amazon storefront before you purchase anything from Amazon, and or you can purchase products from the list on the items that I've been using with my vehicle or at home at no extra cost to you. And now let's continue with the video. So now talking about the RX plug-in hybrid. So you have to keep in mind one thing is the RX plug-in hybrid doesn't have as high of a demand in comparison to the NX. The reason of that is pricing. So in Canada, the RX plug-in hybrid, there's only one trim, one package, and that's in the 90,000 range, which seems to be a bit more expensive because there's no other option. And then when you look at other markets, I'm not sure how much demand there is for this RX plug-in hybrid. But then again, it's a bestseller in US, so probably the RX plug-in, when it's available, will be a hot topic, hot sale in some markets. So let's look at Australia here. So Lexus has confirmed its plans to offer the plug-in hybrid RX early next year. So you can see that everything shifts to 2025. So then they're saying Lexus Australia expects to lift the orders of the smaller NX later this year. And what they're really looking at, they're cautious of introducing the RX plug-in hybrid. They want to make sure that they do have enough supply before they actually go and open it up again. If you have people rushing in and ordering, you get 10, 20,000 orders, and they can't supply them for 5 years, there's no point. So I guess that they've learned their lesson from the NX, and now they're slowly introducing the RX plug-in hybrid in the Australian market. All right, so again, that's what they're saying is they know that they've created the situation and created a lot of frustration for the NX, and they don't want to do the same thing for the RX. So definitely interesting times for Australia and interesting times to see how Lexus is going to manage their supply across the board, not just in Australia, but globally. Because I think it makes sense for them to look at the strategy, and I think they're relying a lot on the power plants that they're building, the battery plants, hoping that once they have that, they can produce a lot more vehicles out the door. So when you look at it, it will take some time, but once that battery plant does come up, I think we will start seeing plug-in hybrids coming from the Lexus and Toyota will get a big boost. Hopefully that does come quickly, and if that comes quickly, I think the wait times are going to shorten. But the next problem we will start seeing is, are you interested in getting a plug-in hybrid from made in Canada? I don't know. I know a lot of people still want cars built in Japan, but I think the only way to get the supply that we need is to be able to make them in other places. The GX. So they're eyeing on the GX hybrid. So what in Australia, what they're looking at right now is they're looking at adding the hybrid version of the new generation GX to the Australian market. Because what they're saying is there is a new vehicle emission standard that is opening up possibilities for more hybrids, plug-in hybrids, and electric vehicles locally. So instead of looking at the gas only, they're really looking at the hybrid version. And what they're saying is the GX at this moment, the hybrid version is looking like it's going to China, and then after China, it's going to go to the US. And that's by priority. So that makes great sense to send it to those markets, but they've already got emission and fuel efficiency standards. Whereas in Australia, they don't have a mandate standard yet. So that's what they're eyeing on in the Australian market, getting the GX hybrid. And I would say I haven't really seen the specs for the hybrid, but I think it's probably something that we should be eyeing on. Because what they're saying is so far, the GX hybrid powertrain hasn't been properly detailed, though we do know it's a 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder petrol-electric hybrid. So it's using the 2.4 liter turbo. It probably would be similar to the RX 500h, that turbo. So meaning it'll be the GX 500h, and probably that from a cost perspective, it might be a little bit lower in price as well. All right, so they do have the GX, the 3.4 turbo V6 engine, and they have confirmed that to Australia. But I think what they're looking at right now is to also introduce the GX hybrid into the Australian market. And the last news is the Lexus new subscription in Australia. It lets you live like you have a $200,000 car. So let's look at what this is. And I think the folks in Europe they totally know what this is, but this is not offered in North America. So Lexus Australia has introduced a new subscription-based owner benefit program, and it lets the owners of the vehicles enjoy perks previously reserved for the brand's most expensive models. The Encore Elevate is available as a 12-month membership that costs $18.99, and it's available to all new and existing customers regardless of the vehicle model or manufacture date. The only catch is Lexus needs to have been initially sold through an authorized Australian dealer. So second-hand Lexus vehicles will not get this benefit. So the new subscription-based owner benefit program gives customers access to the fleet of Lexus vehicles, including the LC and the LM, for special occasions through Lexus On Demand twice a year, up to 5 days at a time throughout Australia and New Zealand. It also includes valet parking at some shopping centers nationally 4 times a year, as well as 2 passes to more than 800 premium airline lounges around the world. So they're saying that these benefits have been reserved for the L series vehicles, the LS, LC, LX, LM owners for 3 years Encore Platinum membership, and also the UX300E RZ owners get this 3 years as well. So they're saying that for recent LBX, UX, RX, NX, ES buyers, this adds their complimentary 3-year Encore membership. A 1-year Encore membership also applies to Lexus certified pre-owned vehicles. So they're saying that it's worth noting that the subscription-based Encore Elevate program doesn't include certain benefits offered in other membership. These include roadside assistance, cap price servicing, service loan cars, and some fuel offers, inclusive travel dining offers, as well as exclusive events access, among others. All right, so if you buy a vehicle, they give you complimentary 3 years of Encore membership, and then if you get the electric vehicles or the LSLCLM, you get the Encore Platinum membership. I don't know what the details of these memberships are, but definitely these benefits are part of this Encore Elevate as well. So what do you think about these subscriptions? It's not available in North America. Maybe the ownership experience is a little bit different, but reality is it's great that you can actually rent like the LCLM cars like 2 times a year, up to 5 days. So you have 10 days of driving the L series vehicles. And it's a good experience to be able to drive them, but are you willing to pay $1,900 for the subscription? Let me know in the comments below. I hope that you found that this video was informative, and until next video, drive safely. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please comment, like, share this video, and if you want to see more videos like this, you can subscribe to my channel and press that bell icon to get notified when new videos are posted. And if you'd like to support this channel, you can provide me a super thanks. And until next time, cheers.